So guys, you're welcome to my live broadcast once again. You already know my name. My name is RODDY, the most populous man in Vienna. The most populous man in Vienna. K. Kanza is the first person who joined me. K. Kanza, good afternoon to you. So, K. Kanza is the first. You are blessed because you are the first to join. So guys, it is Saturday afternoon and you are all welcome to my live broadcast. It's going to be an interesting one. I wanted to run breakfast show, but I decided to wait for my US based fans. Yes, so I have a lot of followers from US who like watching me. So this should be their morning. And because if I had gone live in the morning, I mean like 4 hours ago, they would be sleeping by that time. Or at that time. This so you go serve or the ego. So guys, it's gonna be an interesting afternoon. Like and Maggot. Mengate. You know, here in Austria, there are some female names like we have like Maggot. So I thought it was Maggot. So, but it's Mengate. So, that's it. It's going to be an interesting afternoon. Like and share, bring in more people. Let us go. Bank Book, good to see you. Bank Book is in the building. So guys, man, now I'm seeing all the comments because I'm wearing a kind of, what's the color of this my clothes self, or is it t-shirts or polo? I don't even know. So guys, plenty story day. We have a lot of story to tell, but like and share, bring in more people. So, Bank Book, that your comment was filtered, but I will respond to you. I saw it. You asked, why is it a taboo to be left-handed in African culture? Good question. In the first place, it is not a taboo to be left-handed in Africa. It depends on the society you are talking about, because every tribe has their own culture and tradition, and every tribe, like what could be a taboo in another tribe may not be a taboo in the other. In my own culture tradition, we don't kill python. In my own culture, in my village, in my town, in my region, we don't kill python. We kill other snakes. We can kill cobra, green snake, any other snake, but we don't kill python. I don't know why. I remembered when I was a little boy, you know, my father built his house in the 50s. He was the first to build a decent house in the 50s. So my father built his house around 1957. Married my mother around 1958 or 59. That was when he married my mother. So my father, as a man that served the British then, you know, my father traveled to this UK, Spain, and the rest. He stayed abroad too. My father built a bungalow, 4-bedroom bungalow, big parlor, 4-bedroom bungalow, and he fenced it around with gates. Are you following? My father fenced his compound before we were born, round with gates. But you know, because the villages, our village does not have waterway, like, you know, drainage. You know how it is. When rain falls, the soil will soak the rain. So my father opened somewhere on the fence, made a hole on the fence where water could be escaping from. And that hole my father made on the wall remained there. Sometimes you see all these, Okukibo, all these village native fowls from that hole, they will, walk into our compound. Sometimes they walk out. One day, as we were home, a python followed that hole my father made on the wall. A python followed that hole and crawled into our compound. I saw it, I screamed, and I ran. My father rushed out from the sitting room, asked me what it was because we just came from the city. My father asked what it was. I said I saw a snake. So when he came, he saw a python. So what he did was, Sugarcoat, I see you. What my father did was, he brought a very long stick. I was there watching him. He brought a very long stick and then gave that python that stick. Somehow, that python, as he was holding that long stick, somehow that python crawled on that long stick. My father carried it outside our compound and threw away that stick inside the bush. As a little boy, I asked my father why he did not kill the python. He said, in our village, we don't kill pythons. In our town, we don't kill pythons because that's our culture, our tradition. Now he explained to me, anybody that kills a python in my village or in my town will give that python a befitting burial. Like, we bury that python the way they bury human beings. And this python in our village don't bite, don't make problems to anybody from my village. I'm not telling you lie. I've never heard that a python beat somebody in my village. We've never had it. Sometimes if a python crawls inside your home or whatever, you know, some people built house in the 70s, 60s. Some people built houses without fencing it. So when a python crawls inside your room or compound, you don't kill it. You just look for a way to remove it. But if you kill, you must carry out the burial ceremony. But you know, I left home when I was still young. I don't know why we don't kill python. If you go to areas like Olo, in the whole eastern region, majority of the towns in eastern region don't kill python. And nobody has explained to me, Baba Usman, yes, nobody has explained to me why we don't kill python. Baba Usman, somebody asked, why is left hand considered a taboo in some African culture? So I'm trying to explain to the person, is a co-follower of this page, that what could be a taboo in some tribes or in some regions may not be a taboo in another region or in another country. Now, are you following me now? So, people consider some certain things a taboo. Add links, but I have not, like, if nobody tell me, if I see a python, I'll kill it. Yes, because yes, but, yeah. Baba Usman said in the West, in Yoruba land, it is food to them. They eat it. Now listen, this program is going to be a very interesting one because I'm going to go spiritual. Now, Bank Book has given me an important topic. So I'm going to go spiritual this beautiful afternoon. You see, we don't kill python. Do you understand me? We don't kill python in my region. Now, my maternal home, in my maternal home, they don't kill monkeys. You know, I do not know this abroad, this traveling abroad has its own advantages and disadvantages. Because a lot of us, we are not able to draw close to our parents, grandparents. There are a lot of things they did not explain to us. Like these things I'm talking now, this not killing python in so many towns and villages in the East. Now, in my maternal home, nobody ever told me, my mother never told me that they don't kill monkeys. Do you understand me? It was online that I learned it. That in my maternal home, they don't kill monkeys. And then there are some people who eat monkey meat. There are some people who eat monkey meat. You see, this is where some people do have spiritual problems, especially when they marry a woman or when they marry a man. Listen to me attentively. This is, man, we are going to go deep this afternoon. This is where some people have spiritual problems when they marry. That's why you are required to make investigations before you marry anybody. Do you understand what I'm talking about? You are supposed to make inquiries before you marry anybody to know how, if your culture and theirs contradicts. Do you understand me? Your culture and the culture of your wife or your husband may contradict. For instance, in my maternal home, they don't kill monkeys, they don't eat monkeys. Now, if somebody from my maternal home go marry from a tribe that eats and kills, a tribe that kills monkey and eats monkey meat, you see that there could be problem in that marriage. And the couples may not understand where that problem may be coming from. Are you following me? This is what is happening in some marriages today. Because you saw somebody in the city and found the person attractive, but you did not dig deeper. You did not investigate what is abomination or what they consider as abomination in their land. You did not know what they forbid, what they don't eat and what they eat. Like, it's just like we that don't kill python, and there are some people that eat python. If you go marry somebody who eats python, who kills python, while you forbid, you don't kill it, you don't eat it, you marry such a person, there's bound to be spiritual contradictions unless you are spiritual guru. Do you understand what I mean now? This is why you see some people they will be having problem in their marriage. They be wondering. There are some people that they don't eat certain food. Before you can be able to a kind of, have a peaceful marriage, you need to be very, very strong spiritually, because you don't know the culture, the tribe, the family you married from. This is the reality. That's why I keep saying the day you chose your wife was the day you chose your destiny, or the day you chose your husband was the day you chose. So, we don't consider left hand, somebody who is left-handed, we don't see it as a taboo. Growing up, what I saw, what our elders, Adlinks said the wife eats pork, but he never, I don't know if it's a woman or, but he never touched it. Now, when I was growing up, if our elder, what they considered taboo was, if an elder want to give you something, you don't use your left hand to take it. They will rebuke you for trying to use left hand to take something from them. Again, if you want to give people something, elders or anybody something, you don't use your left hand to give somebody something. They consider it disrespect or abomination in my tribe. They tell you, like if my father, for instance, when he was alive, if you want to give me something, I'll have to use the right hand and take it. I cannot use left hand to take something from my father or any other person. Now, that's what I saw growing up. But when I came to Europe here, on my own, I began to read, I am somebody that like reading a lot, obtaining knowledge. You see, I go to all these native doctors. I watch their videos. I read books. I read the Bible. I read novels. I can even read Quran or any other, and even Torah. I read books to compare. So, I once stumbled on one native doctor, many, not one. These native doctors said something about left hand. So these are spiritual men. I don't know, but this was what the native doctor said. The native doctor said, I read it, not only him, I've heard it from many other native doctors. They said, listen to me attentively. They said, whenever you want to give somebody something like money, cash, physical money, cash, that's what they said. Don't use your right hand. You use your left hand to give somebody money. That using your left hand because I observed some people do this thing in Africa. You see some people, when they want to give you money, they use their left hand. You'll be wondering. But our elders rebuked such act. They will tell you, don't do it. But you see some people, when they want to give you money, they will use their left hand. So these people that usually use their left hand they know things about spirituality. I never knew. So they said, These are native doctors. They said, Ese, I see you. They said, when you use your left hand to give somebody money, something like money, it means you are bigger than that person, physically and spiritually. And that money you used your left hand to give to that person, if it tries to use that money against you, that is to do evil against you, it will not work. Did you get it? They said, some native doctors said it. They said if you use left hand if you use left hand to give somebody money, if that person tried to use, if that person, Essay asked, why do I look at him like that? I wanted to see the name that said, what's up? Why are you aggressive? I gave you a shout out. You should be thankful. Did you come here to make problem? If you came here to make problem, you move. Now, bank book. This is why we are here. So, it is now that, Miss Mendes, I see you. It is now that I'm living in Europe that I never knew about these things. So these native doctors, these spiritual men said, like if you go to the village, if you travel to Africa, even in Europe, yeah, they do it here in Europe. Watch all these cashiers at supermarkets or in supermarkets. Many of them take their left hand to take money from you. They receive money from you with their left hand, especially Indian people. And many of them use their left hand to give you money. If you are observant, you will notice it. Many of these cashiers, many of that works in supermarkets, a lot of them use their left hand to give you money and receive money. And these people that do these things, they know things about spirituality, or they have elder parents or grandparents at home. So I said yes. I said, wow. I remembered some people in Africa. If they want to give you money, maybe they want to send you a message or give you money, they will use the left hand. I said, why is this man using left hand to give me money or give somebody else money? They are doing it so that you don't use that money to perform evil against them. And because I'm somebody, having known that, I became very careful because I faced spiritual battles. I told you guys. And you know how spiritual battles goes. You wouldn't know who is fighting you. You don't know where it is actually. So when I traveled to Africa, I was scared. I was having cash on me. I was having cash on me. So when I go to the market, after purchasing food items or whatever I wanted, I will use left hand and give the people money. Some women said, no, Oga. They said, Oga, no. Say I should not use left hand to give them money. Say, please. You see that there are some spiritual women and men, they will refuse. Some don't care. And I said, so, some women, some market women, you want to use left hand, they say, no. Say, now use your right hand. Because I'm scared of them, because when I travel to Africa, as they look at me, they know I came from somewhere, I came from abroad. So I was scared of them using my money to do something to do something against me. But the thing is, the people who can work against you, who can use your money to perform evil against you are friends and family members, people who know you very well. Not somebody you meet, somebody who does not know your name, does not know where you come from or something like that. I don't think such people can use the money you give to them and perform evil against you. I don't think so. I don't think so. So, well, but the thing is, one needs to be very careful. So, bank book, one being left-handed or left-footed is not evil. You know, look at people like Messi, a footballer. He's a left-footed football player. In fact, look at somebody like Diego Maradona. In fact, left-footed footballers are special. They are one of the best. You understand me? So even you are left-footed, you are exceptional. You are not common. Or when you are left-handed, you are exceptional. You are special, because most people here in this world are right-handed. 90%. So to see a man or a woman that is left-handed is rare, or left-footed. So it is something special. It's not something bad. It is something special and should not be considered as something evil. So guys, you're welcome to my broadcast. Like and share, let's get down to business. So, but you see, sometimes when I go live, I regret not spending time with my parents. David, I see you. Not spending time with my parents. Not spending time with my parents. Not spending time with I did not see my grandparents. I only saw my maternal grandmother. But these people never explained things in detail to us. You have a grandmother or a grandfather who is still alive. Draw close to that your grandmother or grandfather, because there are so many things that you will learn from them. You know, when an old man dies, a history book dies. When an old man or an old woman dies, history book dies along with that person. There are people who can tell you about many things about your kindred, about the exploits of your ancestors. You were not around to listen to them. Today, you have no knowledge or idea of what your parents, your ancestors were able to achieve or what they accomplished in life. This is why, and many of our ancestors did not write any book. They did not is unlike Europeans or maybe the Arabs or the Jewish people that wrote their history. Africans did not write their history, our ancestors. This is why you see many Africans think our ancestors were not able to achieve anything. They achieved more than any other race. Even, it could be that they wrote down histories, but when Europeans came and Arabs came, they came and destroyed our history. Yes, they came, destroyed our history, our way of life, and replaced it with their own history. This is why you read, this is why a lot of us read, this is why a lot of us are Christians and Muslims. We read the Bible and Quran because this is what was handed over to us. Another people's history, another people's story. You get it? This was what they handed over down to us. And that is why you see people, Africa, if most Africans, if they want to make reference, they go to the Bible. What St. Paul said. what St. Peter said, what Moses did, not what the ancestors did, not what anybody, the gospel according to St. Paul. This is, how can you live your life according to another people's way of life? The gospel according to St. Matthew. Who was Matthew? You go to the Quran, the same thing. You read about the history of people you are not related to. You go to the Bible, you read about the history of people you are not related to. Guys, you're welcome once again. God's last born, I see you. Now, I titled this broadcast, Majestically Mane. Can and Sugar, I see you. Majestically Mane asked why our ancestors did not protect our history. Let me answer you. Our ancestors protected our history. What happened was, when Europeans came, they distorted and changed our history. They fought us brutally. Even, they changed our names. What is baptism? Why are Africans answering English names, Jewish names? Again, why are Africans answering Arabic names? Why do you think all the Africans that were taken away from Africa during transatlantic slave trade, all the slaves, the first thing these slave merchants did was to change their names? Let me tell you again, what these slave merchants did was to separate these slaves from one another. They did not keep the ones that had the same languages together. They separated them so that they cannot be able to retain the language and plan together. Like we say, language is power. Because if I am together with somebody who understands my language, we can come in agreement and decide to plan anything, and a stranger will not understand us. So what these slave merchants did was, first of all, they made sure the African slaves did not speak their native language. They changed their names. When these people, what is colonization? Colonization is the act of colonizing, controlling people in their own land. They will change your language, your culture, your tradition. Colonization means to change, to alter everything about a people. You were subdued. That is, you are to obey the last order, the order of your master, your conquerors. I told you that when Leopard went to Congo, these Europeans, what they did was, when they came here, why do you think Africans, I keep saying it every day, why do you think Africans don't honor their great men and women? They are celebrities. It was a kind of culture handed over to them by these colonial criminals, these slave merchants. Never you celebrate your great men and women. They made Africa to see themselves as less human beings, as inferior human beings. It is no joke. And this is what is affecting African people today. Today, Africans hate their names, their native names. Go to Japan, go to China, go to other parts. Arab people, Arabs bear Arabic name. Only Africans are the ones that are quick to take on foreign names and speak foreign languages. Like, You see an African man answer English name, Dutch name, French name, Portuguese name, Arabic name, and they'll be proud of it. They don't want to, like, they don't want to have anything to do with their native names. Or some people self cannot even speak their native languages anymore. Did you know what colonization did to the people of Africa? This is why you see an African man come online or see a fellow African man begin to bully the person. Bully the person how? You cannot speak English language. As if English language is the person's native language. You see an African man or woman bully fellow African because he was unable to speak a white man's language. Have you seen what colonization did to us? And Africans equate or they measure one's intelligence by how you speak English language, how you speak another man's language. Your ability to speak English language or Portuguese or French language does not make you an intelligent person. This is a people's native language. If you look around the world, if you look around, go to Africa, there are people who did not attend school, they did not go to school, but they are billionaires. They cannot speak any foreign language, but they are masters in their business, that is, in their profession. They are billionaires. Before the Europeans came, Africans have been doing businesses, they have been thriving. Today, because Africans are brainwashed, some people will come online and say, you are an illiterate because you cannot speak another man's language. That's what made you an illiterate. Your inability to speak English language is why they call you an illiterate. This is an African man. This is what these colonizers put into place. Make you hate your language, hate your skin color, hate your food, hate your nation, hate everything about you. Africans bought to it. This is why you see an African man call Israel a holy land, call Mecca holy land, and his native land, the land of ancestors, he doesn't consider it holy. He does not consider that is self-hate. This is what colonization did, and this is what the colonizers planned, came to Africa and executed it. The same thing. That's why you see African women, even some men are bleaching their skins because they want to look light. They believe that color is the acceptable color. You got it? They believe that color is the accepted color. Do you understand what I mean now? So, what I'm saying is, that was how they came and brainwashed. It took years to brainwash Africans to make us, to make us the way we are today. Where did these Europeans, this divide and rule, where do you think it began? Africa. Put them as an under. There, sow seed of discord. Sow seed of discord. Plant them against one another. Let them keep fighting one another. This is why you see many African countries are not able to move forward. Yes, that's where that word divide and rule came from. Divide and rule came from. White people are the people that brought it into existence. Divide and rule. When you go to Africa, you divide them so that you have power over them. They keep fighting each other and we keep controlling them. We keep stealing their resources. That's why you go to Africa today. Till today, you see tribes. The Yoruba fights Igbo, Igbo fights Yoruba, Yoruba fights Northern, Northern fights Edo, fights this. See what's going on in South Africa. South African blacks hate fellow Africans. South African blacks don't want to see African immigrants in their country. Whenever there is xenophobic uprising, who do they attack? Whenever, you know, I like saying it the way it is. I made a video about this. So many South African followers of mine left my page. I said, you can go, but I'm going to keep speaking the truth. You got it? So this is the same thing. All these things that are going on in South Africa, you see black people, black South Africans fight people from Zimbabwe, Tanzania, Ethiopia, Nigerians, Ghanaians, any African country. You see South Africans fight them. Do you think this xenophobic uprising in South Africa is just like ordinary? There are people who are sponsoring it. There are people who are sponsoring that xenophobic uprising in South Africa. And who are the people? White people. Yes, white South Africans are the ones who are sponsoring that xenophobic uprising in South Africa. Now, I'm talking about self-hate, black on black hate. Why do we hate each other so much? Have you ever thought about that? Whenever there is xenophobic uprising in South Africa, have you seen black South Africans pursue Indians, Chinese, or white people? They don't attack white people. They don't attack Chinese. They don't attack Indians, or they only attack African people. Caustic said, I do not have any proof of what I'm saying. Caustic, I've seen videos of white people come out to expose these things. I've watched videos, multiple videos of white people to expose these things. They said these xenophobic attacks in South Africa are being sponsored. What are you talking? What are you talking? Do you think I come online to just make videos anyhow? How come? I saw even videos where South Africans mobilized themselves. There is a name they called that organization. If I remember the name, I will tell you. They went to a river that borders South Africa and Zimbabwe. I think that should be Zimbabwe. And they mounted guard there, sending Zimbabweans back to their countries. I saw the video. They are armed, sending Zimbabweans back to their countries. When I saw this video, I said, look at black people. That is that divide and rule. They don't want you to love one another. They don't want you to stand united. Never. See, Europe is united. You hear about European Union. We even come to Europe here. Europeans are living together. They are taking in even poorer European countries, making them members of European Union because they know the importance of unity. They know the importance of unity. You get what I'm saying now? They know the importance of unity. So what I'm saying now is this. Most of the problems we have in Africa was caused by colonizers. They came, they distorted our way of life. But the problem with Africans are, now I remember something. Africans were not the only people that were colonized. India, Republic of India was also colonized by the British. But what happened after the British left? Indians abandoned everything foreign, everything British. Started back to their way of life, to their culture, their traditional dress, their food and everything. Yes, you cannot see in India don't dress like Europeans. They don't dress like British, English people. They dress their traditional attire. But an African man is ashamed of putting on even all these ministers of religion, all these religious people. Look at African pastors. Before they mount the pulpit or whatever they call it, what happens? You see them put on suits and tie. They put on coat and put on tie before they start addressing their congregation. Does it mean if they put on their traditional African attire, their message will not reach their congregation? Go watch all African pastors. You see them put on ties and put on coats before they mount the pulpit. Brainwashed people. They have been brainwashed. Now, what is going on in Africa, in Nigeria and many other African countries, both in South Africa and many East African countries? Have you not seen what some pastors are doing? Go to Nigeria today, you see them sell products they call holy water or miracle soap, miracle water, miracle this. When I look at all these things, I laugh. How come Africans, Nigerians, and the rest of them are so gullible to believe these things? You've not seen light. These pastors are deceiving you guys. All these things you call miracle. See, these things you call miracle. Miracle happens everywhere, to every race, to everybody. Miracle is not only for Christians. Miracle happens to every human being. In the first place, you see some of them tell you that they are healing the sick. They made the cripple. All these people are deceivers. See, Europe opened my eyes. If you are sick, you don't need prayers. What you need is medical attention. Are you listening to me? If you are sick, you go to hospital. If you have, what is it called? Kidney failure. What's it called? Kidney failure and what's it? Any kind of, if you are suffering any kind of disease or you are sick, what you need is medical treatment, not hospital. See, these pastors are not medical practitioners. These pastors are not medical practitioners. Did you hear me? If you have cancer, tell me, what you need is you go to hospital, they operate you. They remove the cancer from your system, from your body. After you go for chemotherapy. After you go for Stralong, we call it Stralong here. What you need here is medical treatment. Don't go, what? It's what? Radiation. That's in English is radiation. My wife told me. Don't allow these people keep deceiving you. They want to tell you that they're able to perform the miracles that Jesus Christ performed. They are liars. These are liars. If any of them claim he can perform, don't be deceived. Man, don't allow nobody deceive you. If anybody claim that he can, make the cripple walk, let's bring crippled people. Let them make the cripple walk before us. If you tell us that you can make the dumb to talk, we bring dumb people. Come and do it before us. Let's see them. Let them heal the dumb. The deaf said Jesus Christ made the deaf here. We bring deaf people. Let them make the deaf here. You understand me? We bring them. So why? How come? You see, this is why the governments of Africa keep deceiving ordinary citizens, because In the first place, you don't ask questions. You are too quick. You are too quick to believe things. That's why you believe everything that was written in the Bible, that was written in the Bible, written in the Quran, written in the Torah. White people came. When they tell you something, you believe it without questioning it. Anybody who can come and tell you something, you cannot use your brain to think. How can you tell me miracle soap? How can they soap heal me? How can you tell me miracle? They talk about holy water. Which water? How can I drink water and it will heal me cancer, or it will cure me? What is it called? Kidney disease, failure. Africans, man, the problem. How can you believe such? How can you believe such? You see what is going on in Nigeria and many other African countries. If you try it in Europe, you go to prison. I'm telling you. You see, this is in fact, maybe because most of their members or followers are still in Africa, they have not been exposed. You see, this thing they are doing in Africa. If you try it here, you go. And the thing is, when they come here, they don't try it. When they come to Europe, they don't even try it. Come, you will. That is, you see lawsuits, you go to prison. You cannot even try it. Ordinary food, you know, African food that people here self in US, you cannot even take snail. You know snail, the snail people eat. And many African countries, many European countries, you cannot bring in snail. Snail. They say snail, that snail. You see that, what is it? What's that white liquid, something that draws? I forgot the name. It's poisonous. Extremely poisonous. And Africans are eat it. I remember what happened to us when we were growing up. Sometimes when I sit on my own, I reflect on a lot of things. Mistakes. Many people are ignorant. Nobody taught us nothing. In Africa, we ate snail. Sometimes as children, we go to the bush and fetch snail. We pick snails, go throw it inside the fire with the shell. As our mother cooked, we throw the snail like that, small ones, inside the fire. After, staying in the fire for some time, we bring it, break it, and eat with all the whole thing. You see many African children. There is no child that grew up in Africa that did not shoot worm. Worm. African children then. That's why if you go to many pharmacies there, even everywhere, they'll tell you, some people are selling worm medications everywhere. Every African child, we are all. Caustic said nothing wrong with you. Don't. Do you have laboratories to examine, to make researches, to know how dangerous these things are? Do you know? Do you have? How many of you are making researches? You said you just don't assume. You are university graduates. You said you studied engineer. You studied it. How many of them have been able to come up with something reasonable? Say, listen, these things are like this. People go to laboratories, make researches, tell you that these things are poisonous. It's like some of the food we eat in Africa is the reason why many Africans have high blood pressure. High blood pressure, a lot of African people suffer high blood pressure because of the kind of food we eat, especially starchy food. If I tell you something, just believe it. It is because of the kind of food we eat that a lot of us, that's why a lot of us are suffering from. See, So Ikem said they sell snail all over England, but I've seen people say in US they don't allow snail in their country. Add links, you said never snails. Add links, how do you mean never snails? Please, whenever you make comments, make a complete comment so that we can learn. How do you mean never snails? Are you saying, where are you based? Can you enlighten us, please? Ikem, I know for sure, a lot of people came to say US don't allow snails in their country. Miss Mendes, are you saying they sell snail in UK? I don't know about it. I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
UK is like Nigeria.
Miss Mendes, UK is Africa. UK is not really European country. UK is no longer Africa. UK is like every other African country. So the UK, they are not even white people. UK, they are not even like, guys, life ones, okay? Guys, if you are seeing me for the first time, subscribe to my YouTube channel. This is how we roll here. So now, okay, they respect diversity. The reality is, when I was small, I loved eating snail. I ate snail, but when I read about what this Oyibo said, I love mushroom and snail. You know that usually use mushroom and snail to cook bitter leaf soup or hot soup. And my mother, they specialize in cooking bitter leaf soup with our native Maggi. It is called ogiri. Somebody said he did not. YouTube. So my YouTube channel is Uncle Road. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel, please, now. Jesse, subscribe to my YouTube channel. My videos are permanently there. So these colonizers came to Africa to distort our ways. We all had our traditions and our ways of life. They came, and what they did was they rewrote our history. They replaced our history with their own history. You get it now? They replaced our history. They told our story. And we did not combat it. We did not fight it. We did not. We did not. We did not fight it. So guys, well, I titled this broadcast, Glorious Life. Glorious Life. And I came out this afternoon to run this broadcast about glorious life. Yesterday, was it not yesterday? 2 days ago, I went outside. You know, sometimes I like going outside to go sightsee. Yesterday, I went out. I saw one African woman. And this woman, I know the husband. But the husband is no more. I saw this African woman. She looked so wretched. She looked so poor. She looked if I was shocked when I saw this woman. And that wasn't the first time I saw this woman. Even as a black person, I felt embarrassed. Seeing my own African woman like that, with every other person, looked good, glorious. Even foreigners. She looked so tattered, so unkempt, you know, so miserable. When she walked past me, I turned back to look at her very well. I shook my head in disbelief. I began to think, what could have caused this? And I've known this woman for a very long time. And since I've known this woman, she has never lived a glorious life. You can never see her. You know, that is, how do I put it? That is, you can see her look glorious. That's the best way to put it. So her thoughts occupied my mind till I got home. I said to myself, but this woman has children, grown children. Even her children are not taking care of her. And she is not the only one in this kind of situation. There are so many women and men in this situation. Does it mean they did not prepare their life? Or is it as a result of circumstances beyond their control? Why are people suffering at old age that some people, when you look at them, even you will not even have that interest, that desire to shake their hands? Man, 1 second. 1 second, I didn't see this in. Now it is here. Now it's here. What's going on? So now I remember the woman has children, but what I know for sure is that woman has never, I mean, how do I put it now? She has never lived a bright life. That is, all the time I've known her, she has always been miserable. She's never had a good life. It has been suffering, packing from one big house. Many times they have been homeless. And in fact, all her life in Europe here has been suffer. She's been suffering. Now, look at why I'm saying this. And look at why I am using her as a case study. Why do you prefer, or why did you choose to live miserable in Europe when you have a home where you can live like a queen or a king? This is another question. Why do some people prefer to be homeless in Europe here than to go to Africa and live like a normal human being? I found out a lot of people did not prepare home. I've said it before. So many people did not prepare home when their pump was still running, when money was still coming their way. Add links, you are too much. Add link. This was exactly what my wife said this morning. My wife said since 1991 she has known her, she has always been unlucky. She has never seen her light shine. My wife told me since she has known her, she has never seen her light shine. Now, but the reality is, Absolute, I say you, the reality is you can alter your destiny. Yes, you can alter your destiny. If you are unlucky, go find out why you are unlucky. There is a reason why you are unlucky. Go dig deep to find out why you are unlucky. Now, I've told you guys many times that the difference between rich men and poor men, rich women and poor women, is the ability of rich men to overcome their spiritual problems. Most people you see miserable in life, we are not able to overcome their spiritual challenges. I'm telling you. Huh? Demon. Yes. Or they were not able to overcome the demon that is troubling their life. Do you understand me? Your ability, you see all this, your ability to overcome the demon that is fighting you is what will create way for you. Some people are not spiritual enough. Some people don't have sober reflection. They cannot stay and think. Why are things? Did you know you can attract money? You can attract good omen. Yes. You can attract good things. It is possible. It is possible. You can attract good omen in your life. It is possible. When bad things continue to happen to you, you need to dig deeper. Why are things not working for me? Why is money not coming my way? There are people that are lucky in life. Money come their way. Things work for them. Why are things not working for you? You begin to look deeper to know where your problem lies. Ikem said spiritual problems is very deep. Spiritual problems, a problem is very deep and incurable. Ikem, spiritual problem is curable. There is nothing that is impossible in this life, and that is what, believe me, the only thing that is impossible is to make the dead walk, to raise the dead. Every other thing is possible to those who believe. To tell you that everything is possible, have you heard about eclipse of the sun? Where light will fall daytime. It happened maybe this year in America. That one alone is enough to tell you that everything is possible. I'm telling you, you cannot tell me that spiritual, who made that? You cannot tell me that spiritual problems are incurable. That means, no, your destiny lies in your hand. I am one of the humans alive that faced the worst spiritual problems, and I overcame it. If I tell you the spiritual problems that I faced, I fought and I defeated it. It is not a small fight. If you are not able to defeat your spiritual problems, you lose. You become poor. You become miserable. That is, forget it. You lose. Ikem, let's go spiritual. Ikem said, remember your mind is the creator of your body. Let me come. Now, when we talk about spiritual problems, it varies. There are many kinds of spiritual problems. Now, These spiritual problems we are talking about started somewhere, from somebody, maybe from great-grandparents, maybe from somebody, from me, you, or anybody. Now, I've told stories on this page. I've given reasons why some people are not able to progress in life, why some people are not able to make it. There are so many reasons for it. Some people are cursed. Some people have curse over their lives. And curses are potent. It's no joke. I'm telling you real life. Some people, their actions made their father, their mother, a friend, somebody they offended to lay curse on them. And that curse could be what is troubling their lives. That is another kind of spiritual problem. Don't argue this. Curses are potent and blessings are potent. When you offend somebody, and somebody, especially the person did you no wrong, when you offend somebody, well, when you offend somebody and that person cause you, that cause is going to affect you. The only way you can escape it is if the person is alive, or you go beg, plead for the person to reverse that cause. And sometimes some of these causes are not reversible because demonic entities will grab these causes and make sure they make use of it. They use it to control your life. Now, I'm just giving you a few instances. Another one is there are causes associated with marriage. Who you marry. There are causes associated with it. There are blessings associated with marriage. When you marry in a family, most of the things that are happening to people is as a result of what flows in their bloodline. Bloodline problems. I told you guys that there is generational poverty. There are people and there are generational blessings. When somebody is from a family where there is no progress, nobody there has ever broken the chains of poverty. If you put head there, man, you think marriage is, you think it is just, it's ordinary, it's a small thing. Marriage is big covenants. Covenants you made both physically and spiritually between two families. The woman you went to marry, you went to take what flows in her bloodline. The man you went to marry, you went what flows in his bloodline. Listen attentively. If there is blessings in the woman's bloodline, you went to take the blessings in the what do you think? If Pekin, let me speak it in pidgin, if Pekin no resemble mama, he go resemble papa. It's no joke. When you go to marry a man, you're going to marry any whoever flows in the bloodline of that man. His DNA is what your children are going to have. When you go to marry a woman, what flows in her bloodline, what is in her DNA is what you went to carry, what you purchased, what you married. See, it's fighting spiritual battle. Listen to me. If a man is fighting spiritual battle, the moment you marry that man, the moment EKGR see you, the moment you marry that man, you become part of that battle. One, physically and spiritually. If a woman is fighting spiritual battle, the moment you marry a woman, both physical and spiritual, you become part of that battle because you are not that too. You are one. Let me give you the simplest example. Let me give you the simplest example. If a woman is carrying gonorrhea, sexually transmitted disease, if you go close to her, you will contact that gonorrhea. Both of you will become carriers. That contact, that is to tell you become one. You become part of that you carry that gonorrhea disease. That is how it is spiritually. If the woman is carrying syphilis, or the man is carrying syphilis, if you go to her, if you go into her or into him, both of you you carry the same, it is the same way spiritually. The simplest. So, this is why our ancestors, before they pick on it, see, some people before they go marry, they go ask, is this family? Are there warriors in this family? How did the ancestors, the great-grandparents lived? Are these guys, maybe, like, are they intelligent? Are they business people? Are there politicians in the family? Are there sportsmen? Are there sportsmen and women in the family? The people they shake ground. Whether the people, these are the inquiries our ancestors make before they go marry a man or a woman. They go ask questions. They go ask. Because that woman or that man will replicate what flows in the family line, bloodline. That man will replicate what flows in the family bloodline. So, that was why I said, don't just see a woman on the streets or somewhere, say you see a woman and marry because you are in love. I said marriage is beyond physical outlook. I spoke about it the other day. It is beyond, unless you are a spiritual guru. You know what I mean? Unless you are a spiritual guru. You know what I mean by spiritual guru? Somebody who is well versed in spiritual things. You know how to fight spiritual battles. And you are of higher spiritual hierarchy than your woman or your man. Then you can be able to fight that problem. If you are lower spiritual ranking or spiritual hierarchy, forget it. You will remain poor in your marriage or all the days of your life. You need to be a fighter to overcome certain things that flows in someone's bloodline. You need to be a fighter to overcome certain things that flows in your husband or your wife's bloodline. If you're not a fighter, you fit, you will be running around in a circle. Year in, year out. You hear me? See, take this advice and help your life. You take this advice and help your life. It's not every time you see me drop such vital information. Even there are friends you are not supposed to go close to. It's not even only about marriage. There are friends you are not supposed to get close to in life if you are spiritual. Let me tell you, somebody may like you or you may like the person, but both of you are not spiritually compatible. Somebody may like you, but that person who likes you may have negative energy. Somebody may like you, whether a man or a woman, but the person has negative energy. Now let me tell you something. Did you know there are people who are cursed? They are cursed. And that curse hovers their life. That curse follows them everywhere they go. And if you are in their surrounding, that curse will affect you. You don't know what's going on. There are people, curses are transferable. So are blessings transferable. When you get close to rich people, you get rich. There is every likelihood you become rich. When you get close to poor people, you become poor. Are you getting it? This is the reality of when you get close to intelligent people, you become intelligent. When you get close to people who are not intelligent, you continue being dull. How do people learn languages? When you watch people who speaks English, you learn English. When you hang out with people who speaks German language every day, you improve in your German language. If you go to China and you hang out with Chinese people, before you know it, you master Chinese language. This is the reality of life. Somebody who is poor, a poor person, if you stay with a poor person, that poor person may pull you down. Whether that person is your brother, your sister, your twins, your best friend. Because that person does not know how to make money. He's not intelligent enough to make money. Has no business IQ. The person has no business IQ. So if you hang out with people you can learn from, not people that can learn from you. If you hang out with people you don't benefit anything from, you are losing in the game. Why should you hang out with people that you benefit nothing? They don't impact positively on you. You gain no wisdom, no knowledge from them. You keep remaining where you are because you get nothing from them. Greatness attracts greatness. If you keep watching me, as you're watching me now, you get inspired. Yes. As you keep watching me, you do not know that I am feeding your spirit. You get inspired and you gain knowledge. When you hang out with somebody who knows nothing, you end up knowing nothing. This is the reality of life. So what I'm saying is this. It's not everybody you're supposed to get close to. If you want to reach your full potential or fulfill your destiny. A saying goes this way. A man who is a friend to all is an enemy to himself. A man who is a friend to everybody is an enemy to himself. That's the truth. If you want to fulfill your destiny, there are people you should avoid. There are people you are not even supposed to even come in contact with in life. That is life. And to fulfill your destiny, you know what? To fulfill your destiny, you know what? There are people you need to drop. Say, Oga, you are not part of my destiny. You shouldn't be part of my life. Waka they go. Let me tell you. That person could be a brother, a sister, a friend. There are journeys, I've said it here, in life. There are journeys you've got to embark on alone. You don't need a brother, you don't need a sister, you don't need your twin, you don't need your mother, only you, yourself, and you. And you see things, you see great things happen in your life. It's not everywhere you go, you tell somebody to accompany you. It's not everywhere you go, you tell, nah, escort me to this place. There are journeys, even when people say, boy, let me follow you, let me escort you, drop them. Say, no, let me go on my own. That way, you'll be able to fulfill your destiny. I want to end this broadcast by saying, if you surround yourself with someone who is cursed, they may stop you even from fulfilling your destiny, getting positive results. How? There are people you don't know their secrets. You don't know their secrets. You do not know. You see people on the streets, they laugh, they dress very well. You don't know their secrets. You don't know what they have done in the dark. You don't know the cause following them. And you see them, you like them, fine man, fine woman. You don't know what's inside. Man, I like this guy. Go now. Go. People went to visit somebody here in Europe and ended up in prison. People escorted somebody, say, nah, enter car, let's escort me somewhere. They died. They had an accident, died. People involved themselves in another person's case. Oh boy, look at what this guy is looking for my property. You involve yourself in the person's case without knowing the cause, over and over the person's life. You go. Have you not seen people that went to separate fights and died in the process? Have you not seen somebody that went to separate fights? There are things you don't involve yourself. We are talking spirituality here. Have you not seen this? You never see where somebody go to separate fights and die. You don't know what is a cause. See, a car. Now let's go. A car may have accidents because of one person in it, and that because of that person, many people will sustain injuries. Some people may even die because you are in the midst of somebody who is cursed. I told you that they do kill people spiritually. You think it's a joke? Most of the deaths you see here is many of them. Some people have been killed spiritually. You may not know, but when you go, the story plenty. You see many of the accidents you see. Think it is some accidents they manipulated spiritually. Some sickness, hardship, you. Now listen. You see some people in winter, summer, year in, year out, no progress. Travel abroad, spend years, go back empty-handed. Do what that is struggle. There are people that have struggled. They have done everything humanly possible to make it. Some people say, man, I want to break the chains of poverty. Came here, sold drugs, made money. Like, huge amount of money. Police busted, cut that money, saw that money, carry that money, move. The person returned to square A. Spiritual problems. There are people that sold drugs. Police did not see them, did not catch them. I'm telling you, you walk. At the end of the day, you will not get any positive results. You think, say, do you know what is spirit? Unless you are able to overcome your spiritual problems. Some people, some women, a man will come, and they like you, you are beautiful. The guy said, nah. Before you know it, the man will go into her and waka comot. Another, she will nurse her wound. After some time, another fine man will come. After the girl has nursed her broken heart, another guy will come. Baby, I like you. You are fine, you are well behaved, blah, blah, blah. Before you know it, the guy will take his own turn. Dump the woman. Year in, year out. Until you think it's ordinary. She's only good for pastime, not for marriage. There are some men, as I'm talking, they are single. No woman can stand them. You know what is spirituality? Some men, as you see them, they've married the first one, divorce, second one, divorce, third one, divorce. No woman can stand them. We think it's something sexual. Nobody can stand them. These are spiritual problems. Some persons you marry, come and born child now. You marry the man or marry the woman. 1 year, 2 years, you'll be struggling. 3 years, no pikin. 4 years, 5 years, 10 years, no child. You spend all your money running up, going to churches, going to hospitals, trying IVF, nothing. All these bad boys in the building. Say hit and run. All these bad boys in the building. I know you like this kind of gist. So, I spoke about you having sober reflection. Why, as a woman, should you be somebody that people will be using for weekend? They come now, come over. But not somebody to marry as a wife, to give you honor and dignity. It is only how far now? If you go to club, how far now? This is time for sober reflection. Say, man, I cannot be a public toilet. My life cannot be something people can be, men can be toying with. It is spiritual. Maybe you don't recognize it. Well, it is spiritual. Big time. There are some stories I would like to tell you guys, but that story is too private. That story is too private. I know somebody here, an old school, who brought all his brothers to Europe. And these brothers did not stand anything for the guy. Today, the brothers are his worst enemies. I know people that spent they have spent years here, hustled, did everything humanly possible to make it, yet they were not able to make it. What do you attribute it to? There is also what I call lack of knowledge. See, this life is too deep. Let me drop this one for you now, especially women. You see this week, especially human hair. I've spoken about this before. Now, you see this human hair, Ikem, I appreciate you. You see this human hair you put on. That human hair may be the cause of your problem. You may not know. I will explain it now. That human hair you are putting on could be the cause of your problem. You may not know. I watched an Indian man say, in India, there are some families, listen attentively, that have been poor for generations. Listen. Like I told you, there are families that are suffering from generational poverty. There are families for generations. There is nobody in that family has ever broken the chains of poverty. They keep being poor. Indians are very good in doing rituals. They are good in doing rituals. They believe in juju very well, magic. They believe in all these things. Now listen. That man said, there are so many families in India that are poor for generations. Now, in order to break that chain of poverty, to end that poverty in their bloodline, what they do is, listen, when a woman's hair grows, a lot of them, they are women hair, long hair, they will make certain rituals, cut that hair and sell it. Go to factories that manufactures human hair, sell it. That ritual will transfer that problem that is in that family to the person that bought that is putting on that human hair. That's spirituality. People do transfer their problem to somebody else. Let me go further so that you learn. You say you know one here, you must hear by force. Let's go further. This human hair you put on your head and you are shaking head, This human hair belonged to humans that once lived. Some are still alive. Now, there are people, Europeans, Asians, and the rest of them, who died in car accidents. This is a very big business in many countries. There are people who died as they take, what is it, body organs of people to treat the living or things like that. When somebody died, they can take the organ, maybe the kidney or the liver, whatever, to use treat human beings or whatever. There are people that died in ghastly car accidents. Listen, there are people, I'm coming to that. Listen, allow me to flow. There are people that died, women that died in ghastly car accidents. When they die, they became garbage waste. All these people that are into hair business, they go cut that hair, package it, and sell. Now, the DNA of that, the spirit behind that accident, you are putting it on. You are putting on the hair of a woman who died accidentally dead, and you wonder why things are not going well with you. You may be looking at your ancestors, but they are not the cause of your problem. The cause of your problem may be the human you are putting on. See, there are people all their life, they were miserable all through their life. They never had brighter days. Their light never shine. That is, all their life, they have been going from one problem, they were troubled. And some of them, if they need money, the ones that have long hairs may decide to sell their hair and make money. So what happens? Excuse me. They call this business merchants. Sell their hair, package it, you buy. Now, you are wearing the hair, the DNA of somebody who has troubled life. You do not know that as I'm putting this cloth now, this cloth has my DNA. As I'm putting on this cap, if I remove it, this cap has my DNA. This shirt I'm putting on, I sweat on it, I wear it, it has my DNA. Now, if you ask spiritual people who are well vexed in spirituality, somebody can use these clothes and perform evil if they get hold of these clothes or this cap, anything I've used, because my DNA, something about me is in these clothes. Even the car, the second-hand car you buy, you don't know. This is why some people don't know what is troubling them. So now, if I'm good, if blessing is following me, it will be on this DNA. If curses are following me, it will be on this, it will be on this clothes, because my DNA, I'm sweating on it, it's on this. I've explained these things many times. You remember the woman with an issue of blood in the Bible. This woman has had issue of blood for 12 years and was not able to cure it. And she heard that Jesus Christ, this is biblical instance now, she heard that Jesus Christ was passing by. She said, if only she could touch the garment of Jesus, the garment. Listen to this story. So while Jesus Christ was walking by, this woman struggled, did not touch the body of Jesus Christ. Listen, this woman did not touch the body of Jesus Christ. She touched the garment of Jesus Christ. And the Bible recorded, she was made whole. She became healed. She did not touch this. She did not come in contact, only the body, because the healing power of Jesus Christ was in that garment. The blessings of Jesus Christ was in that garment. No spirituality. She touched, and what happened next? Jesus turned. He felt it, and he asked, who touched me? Just the garment. The healing power was in that garment. So as you wear clothes, there could be healing power in the clothes, in the hair you are wearing. There could be cause in the clothes, in the hair you are putting on. It's no joke. That is why some people, man, my mates have married, my mates have gotten, but you are putting on a wig of somebody whose life was troubled or threat. There are people, every morning they wake up, the first thing is they sigh. There are people, they don't see anything good in this life. They see life negatively. That is, they wake up in the morning, they sigh. You cook food, you eat food, they complain, they sigh. The weather, they sigh. Their job, they sigh. And it is in their DNA, in everything they put on. You put on that wig, say you are shaking your head, human hair. You wonder why you keep losing your job. You wonder why no man is staying with you. You wonder why you keep losing your apartment. You wonder why everybody is fighting you. You wonder so many things. You start pointing, accusing fingers at innocent people, but you did not look inward. Sometimes you remove everything and be natural. Sometimes you pull off everything and be yourself and walk and see how things will change. Yes, I've told you guys stories here. Sometimes you remove everything, move in your natural state. There is a reason why you are you, why you were created the way you were created. Go like that. Why put on another person's DNA on top? You know this head self we are talking about. This head is where your crown, your glory lies. This place. This is where you wear your crown, your glory. Sometimes you've just got to be yourself and move naturally, the way you were created, and watch things change. When I realized all these things, when I found these things out, I stopped buying second-hand things. Self. I rarely buy second-hand things. If I don't have, I go buy new clothes. Or when you buy second-hand things, you need to be very, very strong and pay over it very well because you don't use it. don't know who used it. Some people purchased second-hand car. They don't know who drove it. See, this clothes I'm wearing, my being, my entire being is on these clothes. Whatever I use, my being, my spirit, everything about me is there. Don't you know? This is why sometimes when you buy a second-hand car, you need to pray. Some people go over it. You need to pray seriously. Buy some second-hand car. It will wreck you. It will wreck you. It will. That is. So suck all your money. You'll be going to mechanic. Every day you'll be at the mechanic until you dispose it. Even the land you buy, some land. I once bought a land. I did not have peace until we sold it. It took years. We fought battles from the day we paid the first deposit. War began. Land. It's not every family you buy land. That is why in England sometimes they say go kill goats, all this. It's not, there are some land if you buy it. See, it says second-hand car. Some second-hand car, if you buy it, it may claim your life. I'm not scaring you. Some, you buy it, it's normal, you drive it, you enjoy it, it will last for you. If you buy car, you don't know who drove it, you don't know what the previous owner did with the car. Some people murdered somebody inside the car. Some people may have murdered somebody inside the car, strangled somebody inside the car. So many. Do you know the things people do inside cars? He says, ha ha ha. You know nothing about this life. Some people, some women were raped inside car. Raped. And have you not heard about haunted houses? Haunted. What's wrong with my medicine? Have you not heard about haunted houses, even hospitals? So, you never heard of haunted houses? That's houses that you cannot live. Spirits, if you go there, spirits will chase you away. In the night you hear stories, you will run away. In Europe, in America, in London, in everywhere, in houses where they committed atrocities. The spirits of the people murdered in those houses refused to transition to the great beyond. Don't you know? This life is deep. So you've not heard about haunted houses, even haunted hospitals. There are some houses, even in Africa, nobody sees. If you go there, you will run away. Spirits, they will chase you away. You hear noises. Both in US, both in Europe, both in Africa. Did you know? To survive this life, you need to be highly spiritual. Whenever you sense certain things, man, I'm swearing it. Whenever you sense certain things, you take off. This is why you see some people remain poor and unable to achieve anything, because they don't know when they are in problem. When they are fighting spiritual battles, they don't know. They don't know it. They are just moving like mogul. I told you guys a story. Even houses you live, There was one man that told me a story. He said where he was living, when he was running real time, you know, streets, but international level. He said where he was living, he buried juju, they are big time juju. Many people buried juju, not in their own houses, the houses they rented that they don't own. After they pack out, and somebody else will pack in. Somebody else will pack into that house. And when you pack into that house, you cannot be able to sleep in the night. You don't know what's happened in the house. Don't you know? Somebody told me that he opened the floor, buried big time juju. After, when things were tough, when he was not able to pay the rent, he left that, and somebody else will pack in. Then they tell you something, they argue. Some things where guys don't tell me. See, I spoke about haunted houses. You don't know. Some of the things, haunted houses, haunted apartments, haunted this. See, there are people that strangled their girlfriends, their boyfriends, or killed somebody inside their rooms and nobody knew. They may successfully be able to dispose the corpse. However, but you see, in some cases, the spirit will remain there. The spirit of the dead will remain there. Because the spirit is angry. The spirit will not move from that place. After you say you don't, after you say you've gotten a new apartment, you move in. Your business, your children, people will be dying. You'll be wondering what's going on. That is why, even sometimes when you build a new house, when you enter a new apartment, you begin to pray, serious prayers. Some people, they will call bishops, pastors to come pray whenever they want to open houses. Somebody said, Jesus Salis, please repeat that comment because it was filtered so that people can see it. Jesus repeat that comment so that people can see it and learn from it. Do you understand what I'm talking about? You don't just say it's a lie. The house you want to pack in. Know what's happened in that apartment. Yes. Somebody made a request. Who was that? Who made a request? Let me know. If it is somebody I know, I'll bring him up. If it is somebody who is not a call, follow this page. Who made the request? I want to know who the person is. If it is a core member of this page, I'll bring him up. Because sometimes you bring some people up, they come up. Okay, Jesus said the aunt buried 4 juju in her house so that the mom would run mad. It's not a joke. People do that. Sometimes you buy a land in the village, in the town. Enemies go there and bury juju so that you are not able to build the house. There are some people. One guy, the guy is from Ivory Coast. If you see how he was locking his house as he was building his duplex, this guy was he was a taxi driver, a good friend. Now he told me in Ivory Coast, where he built his house, he was building house. He said if he failed to secure his house, make sure the family members, so many people don't go there. He said the brothers or the sisters or family members may go there and plant juju so that he will not be able to live in that house or complete it, so that he will remain abroad. Whenever he come home, he comes to that house, he will run back. The guy told me, he said, do it. He said he had to, as he was building the house, he said he had to defend, make sure that family members, a lot of them, don't have access to that house. Don't joke. In Africa, in our villages, sometimes you want to build a house, maybe a bungalow. Somebody made a request. Who was that? Identify yourself so that if you are a follower of this page, I'll bring you up to say your mind. If you are building house in the village, you see enemies, go take ordinary the sand from that site, go use it to cripple your finance. They go pick sand from your compound, that place you are building house. They go pick sand there to cripple your finance. And you may say, you are living in Europe, you are civilized. These things are powerful. These things happens. Juju day. There is juju. Jesus, I'm seeing you for the first time. I've not seen you here on this page. Is this the first time you are joining us? Jesus Sales. Is this the first time you are joining us? So, plenty stories here. I will keep. If not that I am very vigilant, the enemies wanted to useless my life. You think it's a joke? It's because I'm a spiritual warrior. Let me see what. Okay, let's hear from you. Hello?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you. It is evening here in Vienna.
Oh, okay. It's in the US. It's 9 a.m.
Okay, welcome. And people are listening to you.
Yeah. This story you're talking about, this topic, it just happened like 2 weeks ago in my family, and so I have to like talk about it if you give me the opportunity.
Yeah, you are free so that people can learn from it.
Yeah, so basically last year I went to, I'm from Ghana basically. Last year I went to Ghana to visit my grandma, and my mom built a nice house that my grandma lives in.
Okay.
And my mom also brought my aunt to help take care of my grandma. And so last year when I went back to the US, my aunts did, so basically when my mom built the house, she did some protection in the house.
Okay.
And so my aunt removed the protection, and then she put 4 different jujus in the house at each corner of the house.
Okay.
And last year I was having bad dreams about snakes in the room, and then so many bad dreams. So I could not understand the meaning of the dream, and my mom was also having very bad dreams. And my mom gets visions. So recently my mom had a vision about the house, and so she consulted some people, and then they came to the house and discovered that the house had jujus in the house. And so they did some sacrifices and then ordered the spirits out of the house. And basically it was, the jujus were put in place because my aunt knew that my mom was coming to Ghana this year. And so when she came, the plan was that when she comes to Ghana, she'll run mad, and then she'll forget about the house, and then they will accuse my grandma of being a witch. Because my aunt, before that, my aunt was telling the neighborhood that my mom is a witch. Sorry, my grandma is a witch. You see, so that my mom runs mad, and then they'll start to accuse her of being a witch.
They start accusing your grandma of being a witch.
Yes.
Well, this is what happens in Africa. A lot of people, when we create awareness, when we talk about these things, a lot of people don't believe it or they dismiss it and say, and they believe it's not real. Well, these things are real. It happens, especially if you are living in abroad. If you are, are you listening to me?
Yes, I'm listening.
Especially if you are living in abroad and you have investment home, family members, many of them, their eyes are on your property. Their plan and their wish is for you never to return back and take possession of your property. That is their dream. That is their number one goal. A lot of them. Some may go even the extra mile to make sure you don't come back to Africa.
Yeah, yeah. The crazy part is that my mom bought my aunt a land so that she wanted to build a house for my aunt so that when she comes back, my aunt can live and go there. But my aunt was always fighting with my grandma, and my grandma has stroke, and so my mom had a bad dream about my grandma dying after, like, in the dream, my grandma and my aunt was fighting, and then my grandma died. So the next day, someone called my mom to tell her that my aunt and my grandma were fighting very bad, and because of the dream, my mom had to kick my aunt out before things got worse.
Guys, you've heard
And
it.
then, yeah.
Keep talking.
And then after a few months, and then my mom started having so bad dreams, and so she had to consult some powerful people who came and did the jujus. This was 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
This was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, some people, when we talk about these things, some people don't believe it. Well, it's not everybody that need that all this juju something. Some people are powerful naturally. That if you fight them with juju, you will collect. That is, it will bounce back on you. Not everybody.
Yes.
Not everybody need all these juju something. Some people them are naturally strong on their own. Thank you for your contribution. I appreciate you. People heard
Thank
your
you for
voice.
giving me the opportunity.
Yeah, you're welcome. So, guys, you heard it. So the guy came out. When people say things like this, some people may dismiss it and say it's not true until it happens to you. It is when it happens to you that's when you will know. Well, guys, I want to bring this broadcast to an end. I appreciate everybody that listened to us, that contributed. Today, this is a Saturday evening in Vienna. I'm going to go live again around, maybe in 5 hours time, I'm going to go live once more to bring to you more interesting topics. Why am I going off? You want me to sit here the whole day? Lazarus, did you like and share this broadcast? Well, guys, if you're seeing me for the first time, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Go to Uncle RODDY on YouTube and subscribe to my channel. That's the way we roll here. Well, guys, I want to end the broadcast. I appreciate everyone that joined us. So, you've heard. You are not new. Okay, you're welcome. So, guys, somebody made a request. Who was the person? Who made a request again? Let me know. I want to know who made the request. Because I want to make sure that it is somebody, an old school. If it is an old school, then I give him that chance to come up. If it is some people, This Prince, I've not seen you for the. I'm seeing you for the first time here. Prince. Prince, good luck, Ali. Okay, let's see. Let me bring him up.
Hello, Uncle Rudy.
Hello, good evening to you from Vienna here.
I'm fine, thank you. I'm in London. I will just say hello.
Okay, you're welcome. You are appreciated.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.
Okay.
So, guys, I want to end the broadcast. So, thank you guys for being part of the program. Tonight, I will go live around 9 p.m. Australia time to spend time with you. Take care of yourselves. Hope you enjoyed the broadcast. See you.